This
Yeah.
conference will now be recorded.
Started
I think
recording.
Sai is not online at all.
No, he's showing up, but he's on mute. I don't know.
No, for my sir, he is offline.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's not responding in WhatsApp as well. Okay, no problem. We'll continue. I cannot wait now.
Okay.
Otherwise, let me wait for 2 more minutes. And now
This
for
conference will now be recorded.
Friday, we have discussed about the workflows. Okay, the possibilities of having the workflows, how many levels of approval or what kind of approvals. Okay, now firstly, let me go to that. Yeah, this is what we have discussed. Okay, so before getting into workflow, so we need to create a dynamic role. We need to create a dynamic group, because these has to be included. Any of role manager, all these things are available in system. Only dynamic role and dynamic groups are to be included, and the event reasons, what event reason we want to do. So we'll create the 2 event reasons or 1 event reason, dynamic role, dynamic group, and then we'll come to workflow. Okay, so let me quickly go ahead and create event reason, our own event reason. So let me, what is that? Event reason. Event reason. I want to create a transfer event reason. Event reason ID, Lewis transfer. Active, and the event is transfer. And while doing the transfer, employee status would be active. Okay. So I will say save. What is the date? Date is showing as 2/10. It should be Jan 1st. Okay. I'll save this. Okay. I'll create one more event reason called promotion, so that I'll have two different workflows for 2 different event reasons. Event is here, promotion. Employee status is again active. Save. Now every time you create an event reason and the pay component, you need to have the permissions given. So you go to admin center, set user permission roles, go to system admin role, because SF admin is in system admin role. Go to permission, employee central effective dated entities. Yes, search for data. Here you go. Okay, done. Save changes. Pay components and event reasons, we need to give permission size. Now, dynamic groups can be created using manage workflow groups. Manage workflow groups. Now, in the dynamic group, what do you wanted to have? We want to have 4 persons. So I'll go to a dynamic group. These are all the existing groups. I want to create my own group. So I'll create it as Levis group. Levis workflow group. I want to have 4 users. Go to user and add some users. Maybe John referred. Anyone. Is Savi. Rosemary Godric. And yeah, maybe cannot remember. Any names?
Adam.
HCD. Oh, let's go with Alex. Alex is Moody. Okay, so I'll add 4 users. Just that update. It is same like your workflow groups. People pool you need to add. You can take anything here. Now I want to add 4 different persons. So I went to user and then added 4 users. Okay, these are the users. Now we have to create. We have created dynamic group. We have to create dynamic role, and dynamic role is a foundation object. So foundation object can be created in manage, organization, pay, and job structure. I want to create dynamic role. So go to dynamic role ID, Levis dynamic role. Okay, now I've told you, right? Now it can be anything: job classification, department, division, location, legal entity, business unit, cost center, pay grade, pay group, event region, approval type. It can be anything till event region. So that means now if I want to have different approvers based on business unit, or different approvers based on legal entity, or different approvers based on location, so I can select. Now let's say I want to select I want to select someone who is in Bangalore. Okay, and I want to select, if you have Mumbai, let me select Mumbai. No, India. Okay, so this one I'll take Levis Bangalore. Okay, and this one I'll take as Levis Hyderabad. Okay, now similarly, I can have any number of locations. If I have 10 locations, 10 different locations, I can select 10 different locations and 10 different approvers. Now each location, if I want to have a different approver, so I can select here either person, either group, or position. Now if it is person, I can select, let's say, Audrey, this person. If it is for Hyderabad, I'll select one more person. Mohan. Okay, save it. Now what I've done is here two
Ravi,
different locations. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, either one we have to select, or we no need to select all, right? Either
No,
by business unit or legal
no,
entity.
it depends upon your scenario.
Depends.
Now, within this location, Bangalore, now if you have a combination like for within the location Bangalore, if it is HR department, some X. If it is Bangalore location with sales department, then Y. Bangalore location with finance departments, then Z. So if we have that scenarios, and then you can have location and department combination, or you can have any multiple combinations, or single, either the single object or the combination. Now legal entity can be Levis and some other company. Okay, anything, it can be any combination. Levis Bangalore, department is HR, and then division is some manufacturing, some one user. Levi's Bangalore, department HR, but a different division. You can have different approver. So this way you can have any number of combinations. And now if I leave it here, here. Now what I'll do is I will leave the last one as blank, and I will add here Bitman. Now what does this mean? If this is if the employee is from Bangalore, if I am transferring any employee from Bangalore, then it goes to Audrey. If I am transferring any employee of Hyderabad, it goes to Mohan. Any other location other than these two locations, any other location other than two locations, it goes to Michael. If I don't specify like this. Okay, got it? Yes, no?
Got it.
Okay. Now I've created dynamic role. I want to create a workflow now. Workflow is also a foundation object, so we can create it in manage, organization, pay, and job structure. Okay. Now within workflow, we have the header, the workflow, and then we have approvers, we have contributors, and we have CC roles. Okay. Now let's start with the workflow. ID, I'll say Levi's transfer. Levi's transfer. Remind in days. Now we have discussed about the reminders, right? Remind in days.
Yeah.
How many, after how many days you want to remind? And this is for one remind in days for one workflow. For all the transfers, it will be one workflow, and then remind in days will be 3 days. Now if I say 3 days, if it is at first level, 3 days. After 3 days, it got approved, it went to second level, then again it waits there 3 days. So every step it will have three days. After 3 days, it will remind. Is delegate supported? Is delegate supported? Yes or no? Delegation means now the request has come to me. Now I don't want to approve because I'm not the concerned. I want to delegate somebody else so that that person will approve. So that means in place of me, I add some other person. So I can say yes or no. If I say yes, the approver will have option to add a different approver or to replace the approver. Now it went to Ravi. Ravi can replace it with maybe Sai. So is delegate supported? Yes. You'll have delegate button there. Alternate workflow. Now while creating the transfer, user can choose between this workflow and if I add any other workflow. No, I don't have any workflows as of now, so I'll leave it blank. Alternate workflow I don't want. Escalation. Similarly, you have escalations as well. Escalation also we can create, but I have not created. Now escalation means now first level it went to manager. Manager has not approved. Okay, for 5, if the reminder in days is 3 days, manager has not approved, a reminder will be sent on third day. After 3 days, reminder will be sent. Manager still has not approved. After 3 days, it will be escalated to next level. Now, whoever is it? Now, if I say escalation can be created under manage data and whoever it is, so it escalates to that person. Let's say if manager doesn't approve, it should escalate it to manager's manager or to some HR person or to the head of the department. Okay, so you can escalate it to that person. So escalation we have not created, so I'm leaving it blank. Redirect CC users to workflow approval page. Now, a CC approvals will receive notification in the email. We have discussed, right? In the email, they'll be getting a link. When the users click on that link, it takes to the SuccessFactors workflow page. If I say yes, I'll show you this link. Okay. Now this is the standard configuration. Now Step 1. Who is the approver? First approver. First level approval is manager. So just select the approver type. I want to have role. So I can see here. Once I select step 1, I got step 2 enabled. Okay, once you select step 2, you'll get step 3. Like this, you can have any number of steps. Okay, step 1 is role. Which role is that? See here, self manager, manager's manager, employee HR, matrix manager, custom manager, second manager, or additional manager. So we have all these roles. I want it to be sent to manager. Context is source or target. Which manager you want? You want to send it to the current manager or the future manager. If it is current manager, then source. If it is target manager, future manager, then it is target. Edit transaction. Now, if I say edit with route change, edit without route change, edit attachment only. That means when the request is sent to manager, will the manager be able to edit the fields? Now, if I say edit with route change, now manager can edit the fields and also the route map. That means also the workflow. Okay. If I say edit without route change, manager will be able to edit the data, but not the route. Edit attachment only, manager will be allowed to only add attachment. Okay. So I'll use all the four. No approver behavior. That means if manager doesn't do anything, what should happen? It should skip the workflow or it should stop the workflow. Skip means it automatically moves. Stop means it will stop there. If I say skip, it skips to next step. Relationship to approver. Now, this one, when I say manager, whose manager? The initiator's manager or employee's manager? Now, if I am initiating the request, so I am initiator. I am initiating request to Sai. So it should go to my manager or Sai's manager. That means initiator's manager or employee's manager. If I say employee's manager, it goes to Sai's manager. Now, if I say initiator, then it goes to Ravi's manager. So here I want to use employee. So that means the request. Now the Sai's manager. Respect permission. Now, when the request is made, workflow will be sent to the manager. Now, if manager doesn't have permission of some fields, so let's say while doing the transfer, I have changed the fields like manager, location, division, department, pay grade, and so on. So I have changed 4 or 5 fields. If manager have access to all those 4 or 5 fields, then manager will see because we are respecting the permission. Now, if I say respect permission yes, and manager have got only 2 fields permission, then manager will only see those 2 fields. The other 2 fields manager will not see because we are respecting permission. Now, if I say respect permission, no, even if manager doesn't have access to all the fields, he will still see those fields on the workflow. That is respect permission, yes or no. Let's say yes. Workflow email configuration. Again, we don't have to select any email configuration. System automatically sends the workflow email. But again, if you have any custom workflow, then you can add it here. So for now, I will leave blank. Second step, I'll go to again role. I'll say manager's manager, source. Here I will select edit without route change. Skip this step. Employee permission, respect permission. I will say no. See here. 2 steps, third step got automatically created. I don't have 4th step, but when I select, I want to have dynamic role. See, 4th step got created. Watch dynamic role. I have created a Levis dynamic role. Okay, source, edit attachment only. This is fine. Now, 4th step, dynamic group. Levis dynamic group. And then transaction no edit, I'll say. No approver behavior, skip this step. Permission. Yes. Now, if you want to add more, you can add. You have position as well. Now, if I say position, okay, you need to give the position of some employee.
Ravi,
Yeah, go ahead.
for a dynamic role, why we have to just say like edit attachment only? They no need to
No,
edit anything.
no. I have selected here edit with
Hmm.
route change. I have selected here edit without route change. I have selected here edit attachment.
Okay, just to show
Now,
the different
just
options,
to show the
right?
different options.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, all
Now
right.
I have selected all the three. Here I'm given no edit. Okay, that means I'm looking at all the four options.
Understand. So
Okay.
for the real scenario, it may be the same for all the four or
Yes,
different.
it can be. Yeah, it can be
be.
same for all.
Okay, all right.
Okay, position also I've selected. Okay, now this is fine. Up to up to 5 approvers I've selected. Contributors also I can select. Contributors I have role, dynamic group, person, position relation. I have all these things. I'll select one person. Let's say John Parker. I'll select one person as a contributor. And CC roles I have. CC roles I can send again. I can use any of these roles. I can also send it to external email. So now if I'll just add your email. What is your LVIGI? What is your email?
lviji@hotmail.com.
@hotmail.com. I'll select here external email. Sai, yours?
Sir, Ridhi, arjunasai.99@gmail.com.
Arjuna
ARJUNASAI.99@gmail.com.
gmail.com. That means
Yeah.
now I have added two users, two external emails. Now these emails will not be there in system. I'm sending outside the system also. Okay, so that's why I have given you personal email IDs. Now you can add any number of CCs. Okay, I'll say save. Now this is transfer. Now we'll also create one more workflow for promotion. Let's say Levis promotion. Remaining days 5. Is delegate, I'll say no. Here I'll say no, because for the other one I have selected is delegated yes and read this one yes. So I'll select role manager. I'll just add this. I'll say okay, dynamic role, approval role, dynamic role. I will say Levis. Okay, I will add only 2. CC, I will say person. Okay, I'll just say save. Okay, now for promotion, I have given only 2 levels of approval. For transfer, I have given 5 levels of approval. Okay, let's do these two. Now I have created here workflows. So if I go and do the transfer or promotion, will the system be able to give the workflow? No, right?
Can you repeat the question, Ravi?
No, I've created 2 workflows, one for
Okay.
transfer and one is for promotion. Now, if I
Okay.
go and do transfer for any one employee, will the
Hmm.
system trigger the workflow?
Yes, right. You have to assign to that employee, is it?
Yes. Now, but
Yeah.
how will system know that this is the workflow for transfer? Can I not use this workflow for promotion, workflow for termination? Can I not use this workflow for transfer? It is just a name, right? It is just the
Yeah,
name, ID and
correct.
name.
Mm.
Now,
Okay.
ID, I can give it anything, not
Mm.
only promotion. I can give only Levi's. I can give Coke. I can give Pepsi, or I can give anything, Bank of America. I can give
Mm.
anything in the ID. With
Okay.
the ID, system cannot recognize when should it
Mm.
trigger,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So,
understand.
so these workflows, whenever you want the workflow to be triggered, there are couple of other activities that we need to do. Now, we have created dynamic role, dynamic group, and then we have created workflow with that dynamic rule and dynamic group. Okay, now creating a workflow, first part. Okay, now second part is creating a business rule. And third part is assigning business rule. That means we are only done with creating workflow. Now, in the second part, creating business rule, we need to tell the system when should this workflow trigger. Okay. Now, for each and every event reason, we should tell the system when should that event reason trigger. Now, if you go and see for any employee, now I have this employee. If I go to action, change and comp information, select the job information, maybe from Feb 1st. See, I don't get here event and event reason. I don't get any event and event reason. So if I go to location, if I go to location, I'm changing the location. Okay, then save. System says submitting transfer. Now, how is it submitting the transfer? If I say, if I don't change this. Okay, now instead of this, I will change pay grade. GR09. I will change the grade. I'm not selecting any event or event reason. I don't have event reason fields here. Now, if I change the grade, click on save. It says promotion, submitting promotion. This is the event. Now, when I change the location, system is saying that it is a transfer. When I change the pay grade, system is telling the promotion. System is telling that submitting promotion. How will system know? System knows this based on the business rules that are running behind the system, running behind the screen. That means we need to tell the system when do you want the transfer event reason to be triggered? When do you want a particular event reason to be triggered? Now, transfer can be anything. Now, I have created one transfer event reason, Levi's transfer. Now, within transfer, we may have different event reasons like transfer country change, transfer department change, transfer manager, transfer a division, transfer business unit, transfer company. It can be anything, right? So if you have all those transfer event reasons, now you need to tell the system when do you want this particular event reason to be triggered. When you are doing a transfer, when you are changing the employee's location, it is location transfer. When you are changing manager, it is manager transfer. When you are changing the country, that is country transfer. So you need to tell the system whenever user changes this particular field, it should be this particular transfer, or whenever user changes this particular field, it should be a promotion. So that is specified in the business rule. Now business rules are nothing but the logics that can be defined in system. It is the way of implementing the logic. If user is changing this particular field, trigger this event reason along with this particular workflow. So you will be writing a logic in business rule. And then third, once you have written this business rule, you need to assign it. Now, where do you want this to be triggered? On the job information, on personal information, on address? When do you want this particular business rule to trigger? This business rule is to be triggered whenever user does the changes in job information. Now, if we have similar fields in different sections as well, now when do you want this to trigger? So you need to assign this whenever user saves the record. Now, when is this triggering? When I'm clicking on save, system is triggering the workflow. Okay, so when do you want this to be triggered? So you need to assign this business rule to a particular portlet. Now, a workflow can be triggered when you are creating a position or when you are creating a department. So that means you need to assign the business rule, write a business rule and assign the business rule on the position object, on the department object, so that whenever you save the record or whenever you trigger an event, it automatically routes the workflow. So the second step is to create a business rule. Okay, now let's go and see what is a business rule. And Employee Central, I have a PPT on business rule. Let's go and see what is this. Now, business rules are the ways to implement logic for various modules and features using rules engine. We have a rules engine here in system where the business rules can be defined. Now, earlier, the for defining the workflows and the event reasons, we had data models, event reason derivation and workflow data model. So we used to define the logic there. When should a particular event reason trigger? When should a particular workflow trigger? So every time you create a new event reason, then you have to go to data model, download it, include that event reason, and then upload back into the system. But now this can be done in the instance itself. These event reasons, triggering event reasons or triggering workflows can be done in the instance itself using the business rules. Okay, rules engine is a tool that allows you to create customer specific rule. Now in this rules engine, you can create your own rules. You can create any number of rules. Okay, you define the business rules in rules engine and system executes these rules during runtime. Now you'll be creating a business rule, assign it to the particular portlet or section, then system will automatically run this whenever you save the record or delete the record or view the record whenever you want to have. Technically, rules engine is based on MDF, but uses its own user interface in the administration tools. Now, if you speak technically, rules engine is similar to your MDF object. Similar to MDF object, but it has got its own screen. Okay. Now, how to write these business rules? Now, business rules, these logics can be applied using if and then. If and then. If you are doing this, then trigger that. If you are doing that, then trigger this. So you need to write a logic using if and then. Now within if, you can have multiple condition. If location is equal to Bangalore and department is equal to HR, then trigger the event reason location transfer, or then trigger promotion transfer. So you can have these conditions. you can have the connectors like and or. If location is equal to Bangalore or location is equal to Hyderabad, then trigger this event. Okay, so you can use the connectors like and or. Now, so there are some of the sample categories available here. Now, where can we write the business rule? When can we trigger the business rule? Now, business rules can be triggered for your workflows. That means every time you trigger an event reason or you trigger a action or event, so workflow has to be triggered. So you can write business rules on workflows. You can also write workflows for propagation. Propagation means transferring of data. Remember, we have created position, and when we add that position to the employee, automatically all the data on the position gets transferred to the job information of the employee. That is called propagating data from one object to the other object. Calculations. Now you can also do calculations like whenever user input some basic, system should automatically pick HRA as the 50% of basic, or special elements as 20% of the basic. So these calculations can also be done using business rules. Next is your validation rules. Now validation means system doesn't know things like, now if you have selected the gender called if you have selected in the personal information, you have selected the gender as male, and if you are selecting the salutation, okay, as Mrs. You have selected gender as male, but you have selected salutation as Mrs. System should not allow that, but system doesn't know for which fields you or for which values you should have Mr. and for which values you should have Miss or Mrs. Because it is just a value, it is just a pick list. So in pick list, you can, instead of Mr. Mrs., you can have something else. You can have doctor, you can have some, a PhD, or you can have anything. But system doesn't know what is Mr., what is Mrs., which should be used for which genders. So system doesn't know. So you can also write business rules for your validations. That means for validating the conditions. Now, whenever user selects the gender male, it should be Mr. It should not be Miss. It should not be Mrs. Okay, so those are validation. Or you can setting a field to mandatory or error message or warning message. Now, setting a field to mandatory means, now this can be done in either data model or in managed business configuration. When you're doing the field properties, like a particular field to be visible, editable, or a mandatory, required or not, all those things can be done in managed business configuration. But now based on some conditions, now let's say you have a field called married since. Now I want this married since to be mandatory only if employee selects the marital status as married. If the marital status is single, I don't want married since field to be mandatory. It should be optional. User should be able to save the record without filling the married since. Now, if the user selects marital status as married, then it should become mandatory. Now, this cannot be achieved in managed business configuration. There you can specify whether a field is mandatory or not. If I say mandatory there, in all the conditions it is mandatory. Even if you select single or married, it is mandatory. No, I don't want that condition. I want, based on some conditions, I want this particular field to be mandatory. So those similar conditions can be achieved through business rules. And then we have defaulting values. Defaulting values. Now, if you want to default, now let's say I have selected a particular field as male. Now I want some other field to be defaulted as some other value. Or let's say I have in personal information, I have fields like first name, last name, and middle name. I want display name to be automatically defaulted based on my last name. My last name should be equal to display name. Or there is a preferred name. So my preferred name should be equal to my last name. So whenever user inputs the last name, system should automatically pick the preferred name. So that is defaulting values. And then we have alerts and notifications, like whenever we are doing events like probation or a termination. Now, probation, what you generally do is you'll fix a particular period, maybe 6 months or 7 months or 3 months. Now, before completing, now every day you must be hiring hundreds of employees. Now you're keeping some of the employees on probation period. Now, how will HR or manager know before the probation period is going to complete? System should remind us that in another 10 days or 15 days, this employee is going to complete his probation period or complete his termination period. So you need to take some actions. So user should get notified. User should get alerts saying that this employee is going to complete his probation period on 10th of March. So take necessary action. So you can also set the alert notifications. So where all can we do these business rules? Business rules can be created on EC objects and MDF objects. When I say EC objects, that means on employees. Whenever you do this change on employee, you want this particular thing to happen. So you can write business rules on EC objects and also on MDF objects like position. Whenever you are creating a position, initiate a code. Position code should automatically generate it. So that is on MDF object. You can have business rules while creating department, while creating legal entity, while creating division, can be anything. Prerequisites, provisioning settings, you have enable generic objects. This is to be enabled for in provisioning. Creating rule types, you can also define the rule type. What is this rule? Workflow rule, delegation rule, propagating rule, or defaulting rule. What exactly is that? You can create a rule types. Okay, now we can use conditions like if, else, if and then, else if and else. So within one business rule, you can have multiple conditions. If this is X, then this is Y. Else this is Z. Else if this condition, then this. So you can have various conditions like this. If, then, else, else if, and connectors and or. Okay, so this is the screen for the business rule. So you'll have business rule name, business rule ID, which gets automatically created from rule name, start date, rule type. Okay, what type you want to have, categorization of the rules. Then this is for just for your description. Okay, you can write a description. And then base object. Base object means it defines what kind of input you can use for the rule. Now you're writing a business rule on last name or on first name. Where is this last name and first name in system? This is in personal information portlet. So my base object should be personal information. Now if I'm writing a business rule on department change or location change, where are those fields? Those fields are job information. So I should select the base object as job information. Okay. Now we don't have to always select the if and then condition. Now sometimes I don't want to check any condition. Straight away I want system to take the action. Then you can select always true. You can select always true. If you select always true, you will not have if condition. When you select always true, then your rule is always true. You just need to select the then expression. Now this is called the expression. Then expression and if expression. Okay. Rules can also have no then condition, like compensation. Every time I want to select some users. If employee type is equal to regular, then all the employees are eligible. So you just have to select if condition. If employees class is this, you just leave it like that and add this to the compensation, generally used in compensation modules. Wherever you want to define the eligibility, you just have to select the if condition without then. Okay, we'll see this in system now. It's only 2:54. So it takes some time to understand the business rule. So we'll do it tomorrow. It is not easy. It is a bit difficult. So we have to see all the types of business rule. Firstly, we'll start with the defaulting business rule, which is simple, and then we'll do validation, and then we'll do workflow. Slowly, we'll get into complicated business rules. Are very important and they are complex. Till now, whatever that we have done in the system, they are easy. Just creating the MDF objects or creating the foundation objects or just making a field mandatory or making a field enable. Okay, these things they are very easy, but work for defining the workflows and defining the business rules are the complex ones. So these are the most toughest part in the success factors. Okay, so we'll be
Okay.
doing the business rules in tomorrow's class.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Yeah.
thank you. Don't miss
Yeah.
tomorrow's class.
Thank you.
Ravi, you
Yeah,
upload the
definitely.
video. You upload this video. I wanted to watch one more time.
Okay, I'll do this. You can watch it and you can, if you have any doubts, you can come back tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Wednesday, Thursday.